Oh, I guess we can watch a little bit of this. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Boom.
Okay, let's.
Mute that. Go full screen ski. And we got, before we start this off, if anybody did not see the brand risk card the other day, hosted by Aiden Ross, I watched it. I was watching it at work because I was bored, and I kind of wanted to see that Gypsy Crusader guy fight, and I also wanted to kind of see Blueface fight. And everybody saying that Blueface won that fight did not watch that fight, bro. And maybe that Chimu guy, whatever his name is, when he fought Blueface, I don't know if he pushed him or not, but Blueface literally got knocked out of the ring at some point. And he was just eating hammer fist after hammer fist. It's like that burger from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs just fell on him. Boom, boom, boom. Literally just getting rocked left and right. And he did have some okay defense at parts, but he wasn't throwing. And the weight gain for Blueface really slowed him down. It really did. Side note, Blueface showed up at like 215, 216. His opponent showed up at like 260. James, appreciate you. So, in every fight, even the Super Hot Fire Gypsy Crusader fight, there was like a 50-pound weight difference, which is insane for fights. But, I mean, nevertheless, I thought the card was pretty interesting. I watched most of the fights. A lot of them were knockouts, a lot of them were early stoppages, and that was like a really entertaining card from what I watched. I watched probably 75% of it. The latter 75%, and it was very entertaining. Um, Definitely might watch the next one. They're talking about at the end of the card that they might try and get Larry Wheels and Bradley Martin to fight. Larry Wheels and his wife were talking, saying that like, oh, maybe you're too big for fighting on brand risk. And Larry Wheels is like, oh, but the capital's there. So, I mean, I'd like to see it. I don't think Bradley Martin can fight. However, I would take him in the fight against Larry Wheels because I don't think Larry Wheels can fight at all. Just being completely honest. Um, who's the guy that fought Ruga? He called out G Herbo, which is hilarious because G Herbo is never gonna fight. This card got updated, so now they have Nate Diaz fighting, as well as Mike Perry fighting. So, I mean, dude, this MVP card, I think the UFC is honestly low key in danger of going out of business. Like the White House card is a total sham. The White House card, I think, is just like not in good shape. We can check that out real quick. But also, Rika, thank you for the raid. White House card, UFC. Let's see if we can find it, right? We do have Taporia versus Gaethje. We do have Taporia versus Gaethje. Where's it at? Where's it at? Right here? No? No, we need the White House card. We'll do all. Boom, 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 boom. Yo, how are the rest of your games? Let's see if we can find this card real quick. Here is the card. We have Alex Pereira versus Gain. We have Taporia versus Gaethje. We have O'Malley versus this no-name guy. And we have Chandler versus another no-name guy. Which I feel like I've seen this guy fight before. We have Bo Nickel. And I've definitely seen, I think this is Diego Lopez. Pretty sure I've seen him fight a couple times before. Dude, this card could have been so good, dude. Like, you could have still had this as the main event. You could have had Pereira versus John Jones. Like, get Gain out of there. Nobody wants to see him. I think Pereira would have lost convincingly to John Jones. You could have had O'Malley versus Peter Yan. You could have had Michael Chandler versus Conor McGregor. Move this up a spot. And you could have just had Bo Nickel versus Colby Covington. Like, all these matches literally should have been stacked so hard. And it's just insane what they did. And they announced that some of these fights might potentially not even count on the fighters' records. So it's like, like I just like think that they could do so much better. But there is this fight between Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano coming up. Gina Carano, Ronda Rousey fight card update. This is through Jake Paul's organization MVP. Let's see, we got Francis Ngannou also. Rika, thank you so much. I hope you have a great night. Francis Ngannou was also fighting. Which this Felipe guy, literally looks like he's like 100 pounds lighter. They also have Nate Diaz and Mike Perry. And it's like, even though these two are older fighters, it's still going to be a good fight. Both of them can definitely have the ability to be durable and both have a gas tank. Francis gets to prove himself. He just got let go from the PFL. And then you have Ronda and Gina, which honestly, I want to see Gina win. They did her dirty at Disney, and I would really like to see Gina get a win. I'm not too much of a Ronda Rousey fan anymore, but we can watch a little bit of this press conference and listen to some of the details.
My one as well. So it's hey, we get to live once, and this makes me feel so alive, and so I'm just super grateful for the opportunity.
How long was that process from her saying, "Hey, are you interested?"
Side note, I think it's hilarious they have Ariel Hawani doing all of these events because he used to be with the UFC, but now he's with MVP, and I just think it's very funny. Side note to the side note, the UFC going to Paramount Plus was possibly the worst move ever because now they have to compete with all these other streaming platforms potentially picking it up. And I think Paramount Plus has the WWE too, but I think if you're a grown man watching the WWE, then you should wake up the next day and look yourself in the mirror because clearly it's all fake and scripted. Um, I don't find any of the storylines interesting in the WWE after learning that it's fake. I think even though Logan Paul's in the WWE, in my opinion, I just think that it ruins the validity of it. Like guys like CM Punk really boost the brand, but like I don't know. I like Roman Reigns and everything, but it's just like, dude, like after like, and it's not like, oh, finding out that the WWE is fake is like the biggest news in the world. Like, I'm pretty sure after a certain point, everybody kind of figures it out. But it's like, dude, when you have Logan Paul like on the top rope with his GoPro and he's doing a flip, and then like he just like fakes getting knocked out, but like he's still holding up the GoPro to show himself get knocked out. It's like, dude, what are we watching? Like, I don't understand how anybody over the age of 9 could enjoy this. Like, frankly, but it's like crazy. Yo, what up, Jenny? Welcome to the chat. Welcome, welcome. The UFC is going to have to compete with Netflix now for MVP, and my prediction is that because they're introducing UFC, I do think that they're going to give the UFC a run for their money, and as more cards start being fumbled, more people are going to be funneled to the MVP promotion, get fights, get paid, and it's going to be interesting. It honestly will be interesting.
To you then saying, yeah, I actually want to do this after all these years.
I mean, that was about a year. I first got confronted with it from Dana White, December 2024. Yeah, so about a year we've been talking about it.
And when you say confronted, what does that mean? Like they offered it to you, they talked to you about it?
Dana gave me a call and he said, Rhonda's pregnant. I think she was 9 months pregnant, right? And she wants to fight, and the only one she wants to fight is you. And at that time, I was extremely sick in my body. Had a couple of tough, rough years, like I think a lot of us did have. And at that time, I was like, you know what, absolutely. And then it just became more and more real as 2025 went on. And it is pretty incredible and surreal to be here today. It's healing, it's exciting, it's everything I could have.
See, W Gina chat because she's just so positive. You know what I'm saying? She looks good. She's very positive, and I will say she does seem a little nervous in the press conference, which potentially could be good for the nerves going into the fight. I think it's May 16th, so less than a month away. No, 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 less than 2 months away. My apologies. And it's gonna be a good fight. It's gonna be a good
I
fight.
didn't know I needed this so bad.
Well, it is amazing to see you back here.
Thank
On
you.
behalf of the whole MMA community, Rhonda, it's great to see you back as well. It is surreal in its own right. And I'm wondering, when you decided to leave pro wrestling, was this the plan for you, or did it crystallize in a different way?
No, I never thought I would come back. It didn't cross my mind at all. I think it kind of started with my now coach, Ricky, who was originally my mortal enemy. He was coaching against me on The Ultimate Fighter. And
I think
he
that
was
mic cut
also
out.
coaching my husband, Travis Brown, and he convinced me to give him a chance, and we became friends over the years. And he asked me to help him get his black belt in judo. And I had put a lot of walls around my heart when it came to martial arts and everything like that. I was forced to retire over some neurological issues that I.
Yeah, 'cause you got head kicked and literally beaten in your last 3 fights, bro. Like that's where the neurological damage is coming from.
I didn't really have any clarity about, and it just hurt to be around it. And when he asked me to teach him, I was like, okay, fine. You know, he would come to my house, and I had some tatami in the garage. And once I started getting deep into it again and explaining things and getting back to it, made me fall in love with martial arts again. It reminded me of the joy that it gave me from the very beginning, and why I love it so much. And I really am a master of it, and I understand it so deeply, and to be able to teach it to somebody who would understand it on that level, it reminded me why I loved it again.
If she came back into the UFC, she would not be even in the top 10 of the women's UFC.
And then I got to be pregnant, and I was about 3 months pregnant, and my husband caught me doing suplexes in the garage, and he was like, "Girl, you gotta give it, gotta give it a little rest." I'm like, "Okay." I was 9 months pregnant when I saw an interview of Gina, who I always said I'd only come back for her, but I also was like, man, I hope she doesn't say anything, because I just don't have it, have that love for it in me anymore. But once I found that love again, and I saw her not.
Once Jake Paul hit you up with the bag, you came back. You literally just exposed yourself saying you're not in it for the love. So you got to be in it for the bag, bro, and that's not a good reason to take
Doing
a
well,
fight.
I was like,
You're gonna end up like Mike Tyson.
you know what? We both need to reclaim our bodily identity together, rewrite our own endings together. And so then I reached out to her, and it's been such a journey to get here, and so many obstacles, and so many people tried to get in between us and to insert their own agenda. And we went from barely knowing each other and respecting each other to being like, you know what, we're going to fight each other. I told her I will train you to fight me if I have to. Luckily, I didn't have to do that.
Yo, look at the arrogance on that, bro. Like, I will train you to fight me if I have to. Like, she's already looking down on her opponent, dude. She said she's not in it for the love of the game. She's clearly in it for the bag. And, like, come on, bro.
But
From the outside looking in, it's not looking good, Rhonda.
But yeah, we went from, because of this, I had to get her number and talk to her. Because of this, I had to meet up with her and find a way to make the contract work out. And I thought it was just about me and, finding my love for the sport, and just about her, getting back to finding that fire and that light in her eyes that we all fell in love with. But it's become much more than that. Now it's become about changing the entire landscape of the sport, and challenging the monolith that the UFC has become. And I mean, of course, I just wanted to do something fun, and I ended up having to change the world. But you know what? Like that's the way that we do it. And I'm so happy that we're here, and I'm so grateful that Gina trusted me. When it wasn't going to work out with the UFC, I told her, I was like, we can do this on our own. We don't need them. We don't need anyone. And she said, I'm going to follow your lead. I'm going to trust you. And that's what led us to MVP and to Netflix and to us sitting here in front of the Intuit Dome about to put on the most viewed MMA fight of all time.
All right, relax on that. Relax on that. Because I don't think a lot of people are going to tune in for this. Mind you, because it's on Netflix, a lot of people are going to tune in for this. But, dude, like, this ain't going to be the most viewed UFC fight of all time, man.
Thank you for that. Could I ask, why did it not work out with the UFC? You were so
Go back right here.
Could I ask?
Look at the weight difference, though. Something somebody did point out that I feel like is kind of valid, and it's still about 2 months away. Gina Carano looks a lot heavier than Ronda Rousey does. Not body shaming her, but if you have to cut to a certain weight, it's better, I feel like, to get there earlier than later, because you can understand your power more. You can understand your walking around weight more, and you're not going to be as drained physically and potentially even mentally as somebody who's already there or has been there. So I think that is an important fact to point out going into this fight. And yeah.
Why did it not work out with the UFC? You were so synonymous with the UFC for so long, and so to see you associated with another MMA brand at this point is surreal in its own right. And so could you tell us why it did not work out and why you feel the way you feel about the landscape?
Well, I knew that we could promote this on our own, and probably be the most lucrative way to go about it for us. But I have such love and respect for Dana that I wanted to bring this to him first. And I said, I know I can do this on my own, but I would rather fight for you than to fight for me. Just make it make sense for me. And, originally we were going to do it New Year's, and it was going to be under the...
Because she wanted that bag, bro. I'm telling you, Chad, she's just in it for the bag. She's not in it for the love of the game.
The last fight under the pay-per-view model, and he offered me the best pay-per-view structure ever, and I was so grateful. But then, Gina said she needed more time to get in the best shape possible, and that she wanted me to fight the best version of herself. And I think that was fate. It was meant to be. It was meant to push us onto the other side. And once they've moved into the streaming model, it's just not about putting on the best fights possible anymore. Dana is legally beholden to the shareholders and to maximize shareholder value. And unfortunately, now that they've taken the reins from the company...
For all the shit that I've talked about Ronda, this is the realest shit about the UFC, because they don't care about putting the best fights on anymore. If they did, then the White House card would have been stacked. They would be having way better cards, and the fighters wouldn't be complaining about pay still, and they wouldn't be complaining about the Paramount deal. This is real by Rhonda. Everything she's saying right now is currently real.
Of the company away from him, it's barely recognizable now. And they need to be saved from themselves, and luckily I'm here to be their hero.
Are you here to be their hero though? Are you here to be their hero though? Because you're not fighting for the UFC and you joined a rival company. So it's like, are you really like here to save it? Yo, Dio, what up? What up? Welcome to the chat.
I'd like to ask my friend Francis a couple of questions.
Rika ended up raiding. That's probably how you got here. But welcome. Appreciate you for being here. Thank you, thank you.
Francis, great to see you again.
Good to see you.
Bon après-midi, as they say.
Merci.
And you got Francis on the
What a
card
busy few
too,
days for
bro.
you. We wake up on Friday to the news that you're no longer.
I don't get how she can smile through this whole 49 minutes, bro. Like, how was her face not numb? You fuck with the UFC? I do, I do. I do, but I've went on a little rant about it, but honestly, it's probably been my favorite sport for like the past year. Um, I just like fights in general. Not too much of a boxing fan unless there's like big fights going on. However, I did talk a little bit about the brand risk card. That was very entertaining. I watched that the other day at work. Um, yeah, I do like the UFC. I do like MMA. I don't know if you've seen. I don't want to sidetrack, but Armin versus that Giorgio guy in like a wrestling match the other day, because the UFC keeps sidelining Armin, and they won't give him a title shot. I'm pretty sure he just wants to fight Taporia, but so they're sidelining him for like over a year, and so he went in this wrestling match with that Giorgio guy. I don't know if you've seen his videos where he's like, "Oh, if you can take me down, then like you win like $100. If you take me down, can you take me down for $100?" This guy.
About 190 right now.
And how tall are you?
5'9".
This
Can you
guy.
take me now?
It's a good chance I could take him down at least once.
Take him down, win $1,000. So, let's see. Giorgio Arman. Look at this, look at this. It should be like right here, maybe. Bow, punches him, he slides a knee in, knees him. 10 Armenians run to Arman's defense. They break it up, but yeah, I mean, I fuck with the UFC. The UFC is good.
Affiliated with PFL, can you explain what happened and how that led to you being a part of this huge card?
Well, it was just the news that came out of Friday. I think this was an ongoing process for a couple months. I think we've been in this position since probably January that I find out that I will not be having another fight in the PFL.
Okay, sorry to sidetrack again. I did not wait to watch Solo Leveling. I finished it last year. I rewatched it. Um, I was watching it with my girlfriend, and she had to leave before there was 3 episodes, and there was 3 episodes left, and I was like, like I can't. I was literally itching, dude. I was like, I gotta watch it. I gotta watch it, and I did watch it, and like I was telling James earlier, it's like when you listen to a song so many times, it gets old. But then like if you listen to a song that you really like, you listen to it a few times, and then you wait to listen to it again, it still hits the same. And I feel like I waited almost the perfect amount of time to rewatch Solo Leveling. It was still great. I didn't remember all of it, which was good. I'm sure I'm gonna rewatch those 3 episodes this weekend. I was looking up when the release date comes out. They're saying like maybe next year. I can't believe it's 2026 already. I was like, oh, 2026, 2027, it's like 2 years away. No, it's literally next year. And man, it's good. And there's a cliffhanger. So it's just like, that show is great. That show is one of the best animes I've ever seen. And I will die on this hill. Juhi is all of our queens. The blonde hunter can kick rocks. I said it. I'm not sorry. Juhi's literally all of our queen. She was there when he was just an E rank, losing every fight. She had to keep healing him. She set up a date for him. Know what I'm saying? She said that every time that he would have to get re-healed, it was burned into her mind. But no, everybody ships the blonde girl and him just because she can smell him. Like, he doesn't smell bad. That's why you guys are interested in them being together. Dude, it's like I don't know. It like rage baits me every time I hear somebody say that because I'm like, bro, like Juhi's literally like the perfect girl, bro. Like literally. And like why wouldn't you want to heal her with you? Like literally why wouldn't you want to heal her with you? Like you probably wouldn't even have to pull those full revives or whatever through the system if you had her with you all the time. But it's like then you put her at risk, but also like for the sake of the plot, just have her come back, bro. Please. Like she's so good. Like
So then I started to look another option. Then right away, I mean 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was reached out by Nikki sir to give me an offer. Originally, he was a very he was a big name. I mean, no disrespect to Flip Lanes, which is even more dangerous opponent. But originally, he was Rico. So he called me and like, okay, what do you think about fighting Rico in MMA? I'm like, damn, that sounds good. I never. And he
Francis compared to this guy, bro, I literally feel like there's like 100 pound difference in it. Yeah, I literally feel like 100 pound difference. Um, I think Francis wipes the floor with this guy. My other pick is that Gina is gonna win. And also, since they added Nate Diaz and Mike Perry onto the card, I'm going to go ahead and take Nate Diaz to win. I don't think Mike Perry stands a chance unless it's in bare knuckle. And I just want to sidetrack again real quick. But that'll probably be it for the MVP card. So, also, if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. All these videos will be uploaded. I have my game where the games leading up to getting into Grandmaster on Rivals. I have the game we got into Grandmaster on Rivals that are going to be uploaded. I have some Dead by Daylight gameplay with Rika from the other day with potentially funny moments. and I'm gonna upload a lot of this stream. We talked Godzilla. I flexed a little bit of my Godzilla collection earlier. Spent like 150 bucks on these little keychains, and yeah, I mean, it's just a lot coming to YouTube for real. We got Godzilla. We were talking about the movie. We are talking about hypotheticals. We are talking about legendary. Um, we got a lot coming that way. But I just want to look up, going back to solo leveling. Solo leveling. How many? Is there a manga for this? There's 8 volumes. Bro, I might have to buy this. Wait, have you read the manga? Manga? Manga, manga? Which solo leveling manga takes place after season 2? Continue solo leveling after you can start chapter 125. You can start from 120 to revisit after that. For the light novel, you can beginning. So maybe I'll start with like volume 4, potentially. If I was playing Arcane, nope, no problem, no problem. Where to continue after season 2, chapter 125. If you want a little refresh before diving in, go to chapter 120. We're talking about the UFC or another promotion. I was talking about the UFC. I like the UFC. It's been one of my favorite sports for like the past year. Um, I like it. It's definitely good. I think the UFC is in a tricky position right now. I think they're in a sticky situation because after moving to Paramount and the fights that they're making, as well as, in my opinion, I feel like they're struggling to make superstars. I love the UFC, but they need to make some moves to be better. Also, I went into a little bit about Arman and Arman Sarukian and that Giorgio guy when they had that wrestling match. Watch a little bit of that through YouTube Shorts. And then also the other promotion from the other video I was watching was the MVP card. It's got Francis on it. It's got Gina Carano. Ew, no, we don't like ads here around here. Gina Carano and Ronda Rousey. And they also added Mike Perry and Nate Diaz to the list of fights. Did I say Mike Perry? Mike Perry and Nate Diaz are coming to it. I made my picks. I want Gina to win. I honestly haven't watched Gina fight before. I want Gina to win. I think Francis is gonna win because he literally looks like he's like 100 pounds more than this Felipe guy. Like I literally just think it's gonna be like a mismatch. And then I picked Nate Diaz to win over Mike Perry because without no gloves, I don't see Mike Perry winning. I think they both have an incredible gas tank, and the fight might go the distance. But I don't think Ronda Rousey gonna do none. She low key washed, dude. I agree. I literally agree. And like her last fights in the UFC were not good at all. But I guess the question is Gina gonna come prepared? Oh, it's no gloves? No, 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 no. There will be gloves. I just think that like without no gloves, like if Mike Perry's not fighting in bare knuckle, like I don't know if he's gonna like have much success like finishing people. He could, but I don't know. Nate Diaz is literally like a sponge. He's literally SpongeBob of the UFC where he can just take so many hits and like not get knocked out. I don't know if Nate Diaz has ever even been knocked out to be honest, but he can just take so much damage and keep going. And he puts on a great show usually. Um and yeah. Yeah, there is a lot to talk about. Damn, this wasn't running the whole time. Storm, if you ever got back, um, I do have questions to ask about the manga for solo leveling, cause that's actually so good. Like I'm definitely about to buy this. Less internal detail and lore, slower pace. No, there's no illustration. Oh, I guess that's the manga compared to the light novel. What do you think about Justin getting the fight instead of Armin? I think it'll build up the Armin fight more, but I mean, I'm just not a fan of the UFC freezing out fighters like they do. Like, I don't know, honestly. I think that John Jones should have been on the UFC card, Conor McGregor should have been on the UFC card, and Bo Nickel called out Colby Covington. That would have been a good fight too. They could have stacked that card so good, but like, I just don't know why they're not doing it. I don't know why. But I mean, I think Justin Gaethje kind of deserves it after his last performance against Paddy. However, Paddy losing kind of ruins the storyline for Taporia and Paddy Pimblett, unless Taporia loses. I think if Taporia loses, then he should go fight Paddy Pimblett, and Gaethje should fight Armin, and then I think low key Armin would win the fight against Gaethje if Gaethje doesn't retire. I know Gaethje said I think after his last fight if he loses he was gonna think about retiring. So I don't know, it's definitely interesting. Definitely a little interesting. But I think there could be like two more fight. There could be the Gaethje and Taporia. The loser of that would probably maybe go fight Paddy again. And then Armin fights the winner of Taporia Gaethje. So I mean, potentially it could be one fight if Taporia wins, but I don't know. It's interesting. Paddy losing was so surprising. He had a horrible bar fight. That was not what I expected from Paddy. Yeah, yeah, I know, right? I thought he was gonna come out like way stronger, and Loki, I expected him to, employ a little bit more wrestling than he did. I think Justin gonna retire after this KO. I can't lie. You think he's gonna knock out Taporia? Oh my gosh. Yo, that's crazy. Taporia's good though on his feet, but Justin did have a lot of pressure last fight towards Paddy. So that would be crazy. That would literally be so crazy. Justin gonna get KO'd. He punch you back for Ilya. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, that's how I feel too. I think it'll be harder. Well, I don't know though because Max Holloway, I feel like, is a better boxer than Justin Gaethje. He literally knocked Justin Gaethje out in the middle of the ring, and Taporia flatlined him. Would Taporia win after Max Holloway jumps up in weight class? I think that rematch might need to happen eventually too. Yeah, styles do make fights. It's like the biggest thing I've been noticing. Which I think is crazy because like I say that in a metaphorical sense, but it's also 100% real because not even just the style of like stand-up game, but you put a guy like Pereira up against Ankalaev, and I was like one of the only people who knew that Ankalaev was gonna win because he's not like a fighter on his feet. And like you put O'Malley up against Marab, like their win streak's gonna come to an end, I think. And it's just wild. Like I think Hamzat, if he keeps moving up in weight, I think he's gonna murder half the UFC. I I think that Hamzat is the best fighter. Everybody gives him shit for wrestling and stuff, but and yeah, his stand-up game isn't good, but people really think that Hamzat's gonna lose to Sean Strickland when Sean Strickland's on camera talking about you need to take it easy on everybody. You're the best one here. Blah 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 blah. It's like, dude, Hamzat's gonna like fuck you up, bro. Like Sean Strickland has no ground game whatsoever, and I think he got lucky in a few fights. He got embarrassed against DDP, and Hamzat literally like I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. Hamzat literally derailed Dreykus's career after that loss. Like his momentum has stopped, and he needs another big fight to build it back up. With that being said, I just don't think it's gonna be good for Sean Strickland. What do you think about the ground control meaning so much? I think it shouldn't be significant if they can without a finish. Yeah, that's true. I think you should definitely try and get a finish in there, but it's also like if it and how I look at it sometimes, I guess, now that I'm thinking about it, is like if it's a street fight or if there was no rounds and like you have like 5 minutes of like control time and there's no bell to ring, like I just think that the fight would probably end in your favor. Like hypothetically, obviously, but I mean, I don't know. I think takedowns are valid for points for sure. Um, it's just how that whole culture fights all the Dagestanis, um, all the Dagestan fighters. They're like huge wrestlers. Like Islam can do better because okay, headset paired. Okay, sorry. My headset keeps turning off and I'm not playing videos or a game or something. I have like an actual mic, but my audio interface has been downstairs for like 2 weeks, so I need to low key bring that back so I don't have to deal with this. Um, I just gotta breeze. But I just think with that culture of fighting, they need to figure out a way on how to counter it. Like everybody, it's gonna force the UFC as it's gonna force the UFC as a culture, I guess, and an organization all around for the men's UFC to get better. And with the women's UFC, Kayla Harrison is dominating too with the ground game. So I mean, I just think it's gonna be like it's gonna help everybody be more well-rounded and not so one-dimensional because when you have a fighter like Sean O'Malley who gets ragdolled, even though like sometimes he like jokes around and like says that like he won the fight when like clearly he didn't, but like I don't know. When you have a fighter like Sean O'Malley or Alex Pereira, they're on this impressive win streak, but the UFC strategically doesn't put them up against people that will expose their weakness. It's good for building a fighter, but it's at the end of the day, I think it's bad for the fighter because then you just get exposed and replaced. And it's not like I think if Sean O'Malley and Merab fought right now, I don't think that Sean O'Malley would win 9 out of 10 times in that fight. That's just how I feel. And that was my thing where if Pereira and John Jones fought, that like I think Pereira would have just got dominated in the ground game. But I mean, because like John Jones, what business does he have standing and fighting with Pereira? Like he got when John Jones fought Cyril Gane, he literally took him down within like 30 seconds and won the fight. Maybe not that quick, but it was definitely within like 5 minutes. Definitely within one round and definitely within maybe even 2 minutes. He literally submitted him and made him tap out. And did I think he looked that impressive against Stipe? No. And honestly, I would be pretty worried about John Jones on his feet committing to that for a whole fight. Um, just what I was seeing in the Stipe fight, he would throw, then he would turn around and run a little bit, and it's like, dude, if you get somebody that follows up with that, like, it could be potentially really bad. Like, and I don't want to see John Jones get knocked out. It's also like I don't want it to be a wrestle off every fight. 'Cause imagine trying to catch up to the elbow in wrestling. No, yeah, literally, literally. That's why. I mean, let's take Hamzat and what's the name? Kamaru Usman, for example. Like Hamzat's gas tank is terrible. So like if you can and so like at the beginning of the fight, Hamzat took Usman down quickly, right away, and he was able to get like the first 2 rounds just straight off ground control. In the last round of that fight, Usman was standing up with him and making a comeback on his feet. So I think as long as you can stuff enough takedowns, it's like Marab and Peter Yan. When Peter Yan's stuffing all these takedowns from Marab, like eventually they're gonna have to try and stand. Mind you, Marab does kind of throw a lot more than Hamzat. I think Islam isn't that much of a problem. I think he can still like he head kicked Volkanovski and like knocked him out. But yeah, I think if you can stuff enough takedowns, then they're gonna have to be forced to find another route. And I think that's how you beat him. But your takedown defense has to be so immense and so great that you have to force that. Otherwise, they're just gonna try and take the win like that every time. We're an hour 26 right now, Chad. Ooh. Okay. Okay. I think I'm gonna go. Dio, I appreciate you with the follow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, to anybody watching, like I said earlier, there will be my Grandmaster game. That'll be a separate video from Rivals. Um, that'll be uploaded on YouTube. There will be a few games leading up to when we got to Grandmaster on YouTube. Um, there will be DBD games with Rika Lexi that get uploaded, and I'm gonna include the Godzilla segment and the UFC segment. And I don't think I'm gonna separate the UFC and the solo leveling one because it's just like I feel like I kept flip-flopping. So I'm just gonna like kind of title it a UFC video, and there will be like I don't know, maybe like however long we talk about it, maybe like 5 minutes of solo leveling stuff. You're very well spoken. Thank you, thank you. You should make UFC videos. The way you speak makes you want to watch. You know, I've been thinking that. Now that you say that, nobody's ever really said that, but I do want to get into making videos again. My other channel, XXCANVAS, this is like my old channel. I used to post a lot of Injustice gameplay and stuff on here, but um let's see, videos. This one, I God, I can't talk right now. I posted this twice. The first time I posted it, it got 1,000 views in like a couple minutes. And where was my other video? There should have been another video, I think. Um, I don't know. I don't, did I ever repost it? I don't know. I had a video where like, oh, DC needs a show like this, and most of my videos on here are like all shorts and stuff. But look at this. Look at this. Ooh, like I was so hyped when this happened. I was like, should I just like go do that again on my new channel and try? Cause I got like so many subscribers and stuff from like doing that on like this channel. But like this one, my Canvas Hub channel has just been kind of meant for like VOD stuff. You probably don't know who it is, but I watch like a decent amount of DJ Academics. He just talks about music and stuff. He's been lately talking about like news and stuff like that, but um all these videos are like VODs and stuff for my streams. And I mean kind of down here, it's been a lot of gameplay recently, but I mean all these videos and somewhat below. Before I really got into Battlefront, it was kind of just all like just chatting stuff, and that was a lot of fun. Um, and I'm trying to stay consistent and get back into it. I worked 2 jobs last week, so I worked like a lot of hours, and I don't know. I got a little bit more time on my hands this week. Sometimes I go live on Twitch and YouTube. I got a few streams on here. Um, Streamed this 1 month ago for my birthday. I had Rivals all modded out and everything. But yeah, I mean, I want to get back into the just chatting stuff, like gaming. Oh, why is this all highlighted? Um, Gaming's cool and everything, but I do like talking, and I want to make like videos. Like I do like streaming and just chatting and everything, and I'm gonna keep doing that. But I also feel like sitting down and like taking the time to make like a good video would be like really cool too. I have like all the equipment to do it. Mic back, mic back. All right, my mic is back. Sorry. Next stream, I will have my regular mic, this mic hooked up, so I won't have to deal with my headset turning off from inactivity and everything. That's really cool that you used to watch Ack when he did the war in Chirac. I never watched him around that time. I started watching him in like 2017 though, when he was on why am I blanking on this? The show with Joe Budden, DJ Academics, Joe Budden, and it was on Complex. Everyday Struggle. It had that. Who's the girl? I'm blanking on her name too. Who's the girl from Everyday Struggle? Joe Budden. Nadeska. Nadeska. They used to hate him low key in that show. Yeah, I know. I think that was like their role though, cause like they're friends now. But I don't know. I think Ack even said it. He's like, yeah, I used to like kind of defend like the newer wave, and then Joe would kind of like take the other angle. But I do think Joe is just like gets frustrated so much that he probably was like hating him for a little bit. But I don't know. That's like the main streamer I usually watch. He has this YouTube channel called The Academy. Not to promote another channel while I'm streaming, but he usually streams like every day. He's been streaming a lot on Kick because I don't know if he's trying to get a Kick deal or what. But I usually play these videos before bed just for background noise. And I don't know. It's lit. It's usually what I watch. But hope everybody has a great night before my headset turns off again. You guys are awesome. Be on the lookout for new videos. Hope everybody has a great night. And I'll try and be back tomorrow morning. I'll for sure 100% be back Friday morning for the new season arrivals. Like 100% I'll be on. But yeah, I hope everybody has a great night. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the Canvas Hub. We got through all our topics today. Super excited about that, and hope you all have a wonderful night. See you next time.